Hi, my name is Napop. So today I'm going to be reading about Moby Dick. Yeah. Written by Eric Freeberg. Yeah. So, um, Chapter 1: The Sponsor In. Yeah. Call me Ishmael. Some years ago, I was in need of work. I had no plan for my life and no real home. So I decided to go to the sea and see some of the world. I had done this before whenever I feel a bit low or that life is too hard. I get work on the ship, otherwise I get too restless. I may find myself walking into the street and knocking people's heads off. I doubt that I am the only man who feels this way. If you are in a city near the ocean, you will see hundreds of people gazing at the water. I cannot understand how some can work in the office. I need freedom and the open sea, or I would get mad. Men like me cannot resist the pull of the sea. We would spread our last dime for the trip to the beach. We would walk through the desert to reach the shore. We were always happiest on the ship when there's no land in sight. I'll never go to the sea as a passenger. Passengers needs money to buy a ticket. A passenger gets seasick and complains about the service. No, when I go to the sea, I go as a sailor. I stuff a shirt or two into my bag, tuck it under my arms, and headed toward the Atlantic Ocean. I arrived in the town of New Bedford too late. The last boat to the island of Nantucket was gone. I was very disappointed. I was determined to find employment on a Nantucket whaling ship where the finish. Heading out to sea, Nantucket was also the oldest whaling port in America. I wanted to be a part of that history and would not settle for the second best. Fishing for whales called whaling was the big industry back then. Whale blubber was used for oil and in lamp. Everyone needed oil lamp to see at night. The oil was even in the street lamp. Hundreds of ships sail each year looking for whales. They sail all over the world and were gone for several years at a time. It was a hard work, but I wanted to know that adventure. The next boat to Nantucket didn't leave for another 2 days. I knew no one in the Bedford. I would need to find a place to stay, something to eat. So I walked toward the water where cheaper hotels were suddenly be found. At last, I found a Sparta Inn design. Said the owner was named Peter Coffin. The building was leaning to one side. The old sign creaked loudly in the wind. It certainly didn't look like a nice hotel, but it looked perfect for me. The inside of the hotel was almost as run down as the outside. The wallpaper was worn and faded. The furniture was tattered. It reminded me of inside of condemned ship. One wall there was a large oil painting. It was so dirty and damaged by years of smoke that you could not tell what the picture was. It appeared to be a black mass over another black mass. I started at it for some reason. I finally realized it was a picture of a whale, the great monster of the deep. The opposite wall was covered with harpoons and spears. These are two whalers used. I wonder what the story these two could tell. Where had they traveled? Which whaler had used them? I walked through the dusty lobby. There were more display cases with treasures from a far off land. I stopped in my tracks when I looked into a side room. There was a whale jawbones, and it was so large that a horse and a buggy could have passed through. I was sitting in the amazement when a very old man entered the room. I told him I was looking for a room before I traveled to Nantucket. You don't have any objection to sharing with a harpoon, do you? He asked. If you're going whaling, you should have get used to it anyway. That's why you're going to Nantucket, isn't it? For whaling. I don't really like sharing a bed, I said, but if that's all you have and the harpoon is a decent fellow, good. The landlord said, do you want? Super. It will be here in a minute. He walked out of the room. I was left alone with my thought. I wonder what would happen next and what might be served for Super. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.